3 times. 4 times. Doing gang things, living super clean. That done came up. Can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control us. Look at you, you done came up now. Get it how you live, mess the game up now. Ain't messing with yoga, but get the flame up. Hey, used to be Toby, but got your name back now. I see ya, paid under pressure. 25 lighters, got them all on the dresser. If it ain't for you, ain't for you then. If you a lame or a sucker, wanna dress you then. Grown up now, bump the childish ways. Got a wife and a bunch of kids to raise. Punch a clock side hustle or a business you endure to ensure that all the bills is paid. Slow clap for your homeboy, could've turned out like your homeboy. Been on the same block, cooking up the same rock on the cell block lot with your homeboy. But no, you had vision, you had goal. Brand new you on the old time road, take care. Home where you bust your low. Black men don't teach, screaming bond these hoes. Real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you PD grade. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the folk that have moved up. Even if you had a slow start screwed up. Used to gang bang, now homie brewed up. Had a little plan, I had them blew up. Look at you like a man right now. Dressed to the T, smelling like a grand right now. And you ain't got nothing from a handout now. Just faith and hard work gets it planned out now. You could've took a bunch of dusty rolls. The hand dealt with a bunch of cards to fold. It stayed hot while the world is freezing cold. The same plot, but the story's never old. Slow clap for your kinfolk. Could've been asking what your info. Prosecutor could be trying to do you in for the 2020 twins, so you passing out the info. But no, you had purpose, you had plans. I ain't throwing nothing on Mercedes Benz. Won't impress y'all, don't need no fans. That ain't my God. Who is that, man? This real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you peep these grades. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. 1 time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. 3 times for my folk that done came up. 4 times cause the man can't control up. Yeah, real man. Sheesh. Yeah. Doing gang things. Mono. Living super clean. That it came up.
1 time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause you know he got a good thing. I submit and I cook and I clean and I never hold back on that pop. I'ma let it rain. Made me honest, I got a rain. All praises to the most high, let it sing. A real man able, sister never came. And I ain't going nowhere, this is not a game. Look at you, girl, you're lonely right now. Settling for bums instead of in the most high. He provide and protect so he get our respect. And he leading us aboard when them chariots fly. I don't really think you hear me though. You can't cross this bridge on some billy goats. Let them save you in the end like a Seminole.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord. Saints, it's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono. Shalom and shalom to you from wherever you are joining me. IG, YouTube, Facebook. Shout out to my audience on the Saya TV. I'm so happy to have each and every one of you here with me this evening. All praises to the Most High for getting us to today. I pray and hope that you are feeling well, that you are in good health mentally and physically. We have a lot to talk about today. Of course, our main topic, we're going to get to the double standard. We're going to discuss that. But yes, we are going to talk about Carly Russell. We're going to get into all of that. Don't you worry. Shalom and shalom. Maya, thank you so much for joining me. If you are here, since you are here, I'm so happy you're here. Like, share, subscribe to the YouTube at Miss Mono's World and at Monologue McGad. I'm trying to build up my subscribers. So please, if you're on The Monologue McGad YouTube at the end of this broadcast, if you would be so kind to head over to my YouTube at Miss Mono's World and give me a subscribe, that would be awesome. Also, listen, I have content all over this internet, so please follow me TikTok, Facebook, IG at Miss Mono's World. I would be remiss and totally out of line if I did not also introduce you all to the love of my life, the head of my house, Monologue McGad, ladies and gentlemen. If you're on the YouTube, go ahead, subscribe, turn on your notifications. You can check out past podcast episodes, my husband's music. You might see me on there a few times. You know what I'm saying? And then follow him on your IG, your Facebook, all of those good things. I hope that y'all are feeling okay this Thursday. Listen, get involved with the conversation, y'all. I want to know what y'all think about everything I'm about to talk about today. So please feel free to hop in the chat. Today is the 20th, you guys. That means there's officially 10 days until F3. 10 days, that's right. It goes down on July 30th, 1 o'clock in the good old ATL. If you do not have your tickets, I don't know what you are waiting for. I guess you just want to pay $20 at the door, which is fine with me. If you don't want to pay $20 at the door and say, you know what, I'm going to just give y'all 10 of my bucks, head over to 3mgmusic.com. That's the number 3mgmusic.com. You can get your tickets there. There's still time to sponsor families if you want to sign up to be a vendor. There is a cutoff time for the tickets. I believe it's the 29th at midnight cutoff time for the tickets online. So your friends, tell everybody. I don't know if there are any more VIP tents left. I know we have sold out and we added some more. So if there are any more, I know there are only about 1 or 2. So please head over to 3mgmusic.com, get your tickets, get your tents. Plan on coming to join us and have a good old time. I just wanted to take a moment to also thank everyone who has donated, who has shown their love to the Cash App. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single dollar. Listen, I know how I feel about my money, and I'm sure you feel the same way about yours. So I appreciate every offering. I really do. Thank you guys so much. If you like what we have going on here at the House of Mono, or I say something you agree with, $1 or $2 due to the Cash App, $ the House of Mono. Okay, guys, let's get into this Carly Russell situation because the internet has just been a buzzing, and can you blame them? I would like to say, the day. Wait a minute, what is today? I'm so like the days are all running together. Okay, this is Thursday. Was that Wednesday or Tuesday? No, Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. Someone argued me up and down because I said that it seemed a little suspicious to me how fast it spread. Now, this was before, this is when we knew she was home, but before her family made any statement or anything like that. It just seemed really odd to me how fast it spread in the first place. Now, we can't act like that there aren't people that go missing every day, and we have all seen the post. And sometimes when you see it, excuse me, it's 1 day, 2 day, 3 days old, unless it's somebody you know directly, right? So that was the first thing to me that seemed a little crazy. Okay. And then of course the internet is having a field day with the fact that her wig got left behind. Listen, I've never been abducted. I don't plan to be abducted. I've heard stories of abduction. I've never heard of a wig being left behind. And I'm not even trying to be funny right now, but Black women go missing all the time. You never hear about a wig being left behind, a weave being left behind. Never hear this happening. And let me say this, okay? Because I have a 21-year-old. And me and her were talking about it. And she was still like, no, something really did happen to her. Now, I just want to say, I'm 42. Okay. I've lived through Susan Smith. If you don't remember who Susan Smith was, that was a white lady from South Carolina who put her kids in her truck, drove them into the lake, drowned them, and said a black man did it. And I remember another incident that got national notoriety, and they said a black man did it. Okay. So I've seen, or I've been an eyewitness to fake crimes before. And in this day and time, it's like if you watch enough true crime, you knew right away. It just the things were not adding up. And then for her to just walk to her parents' house, you just walk in the door. That's it. Like, hey, I'm home. Like, did y'all miss me? And even with that, okay, even with that, maybe a little bit. But if Yahweh forbid anything ever happened to one of my kids, if they come home, my first thing is, are you okay? What happened? Who did this to you? We need to let people know what this person looks like because he may be out here snatching other people. That's going to be my first thing. My first thing is not going to be, oh, please respect our privacy. No, I want y'all to catch the person that did this to my baby. I'm going on Al Roker's NBC. I'm not about to play no games. This is what he looked like. We need to get a police sketch artist and everybody else up in here so we can get some answers to these questions. No, is it just me? I don't know. It might just be me. And I didn't bring a clip and do all that. Because I'm sure you guys have seen it like ad nauseum, right? Because everybody's on top of this. So for the big picture for me, it's just the Black women and girls that really do get abducted. The Black women and girls that really are caught in trafficking. Like, that's the big picture here. Like, yes, we're all laughing, we're all making jokes. It's kind of like you can either be super angry or you can laugh. um, so it's kind of like you have to just laugh about it. Because what can we do? This child has taken it upon herself, and I'm not even gonna say that, she was alone in it or whatever. But her and her cohorts have taken it among themselves to stage this elaborate hoax. And unfortunately, when a Black person does something, it reflects on all of us. I don't know why we have not figured that out yet. And you know, hee hee ha ha. It was because her boyfriend cheated on her with a stripper, whatever the case may be. The fact of the matter is that there are still families grieving for their child who did not come home. And I can't imagine how those families feel. Like, we on the outside, yeah, we have our feelings, but I can't imagine how those families feel who are actually going through that. And then you're gonna play these kind of games. So now the next time a Black woman or a Black child goes missing, what is the response gonna be, right? And so you still have these people that are trying to defend her, and now all of a sudden they wanna talk about how horrible the police are. Y'all not gonna do that. No, we're not going to do that. Am I saying that I don't know. I don't live in that city. That's not the police are not on trial here. And I don't appreciate people trying to deflect from the issue. Okay. And we have to address this, right? Because it's happening on a global scale in our face that there are still, I'm going to say Black women because that's most of my social media feed. That's who I'm interacting with. So that's all I feel safe in saying. I feel safe in saying that it's a sad shame that there are still Black women who get on this internet and try to defend Carly in this act. I don't care if she is Black. I'm not about to sit up here and act like I've lost all my common sense and I'm a fool. No. No, we can't. It's one thing for one of us to act up. It's another thing for all of us to act like we're dumb to it. Because now we're just confirming that, oh, we're all lost as a people. Okay, at least if there is a solid, what am I looking for? Resistance kind of, or a if there's enough Black people saying, no, we don't condone this foolishness either, then at least we have a chance of some people realizing, like, okay, no, all Black people are not like this. Okay. But if we're sitting up here co-signing that foolishness, then what hope do we have for what hope do we have? And who would be wrong to make that assessment? And that's the thing that that I'm trying to point out here. It's like, why are we afraid to hold this young lady accountable? Why aren't we calling her out? And as much as I don't like Candace Owens and her views in relation to her Blackness, let me say that, she's not wrong. She's not wrong in what she's saying. This girl was absolutely wrong, and Black people absolutely attacked her for saying that she was wrong, and that's what we cannot keep doing. Listen, I'm all for having the conversations inside the house, right? I'm all for family business being family business, and what needs to be discussed amongst Black people needs to be discussed amongst Black people. But ma'am, sis, cousin, when you get out here on the white man's TV, on Billy Bob's news channel, and involve the police for crime. The Secret Service was looking for you. The whole Secret Service. Their main job is to protect the money. They had to stop protecting the money to come look for you and your Target snacks. So that's the big picture. They've cracked the code. All of her lies are coming out. But at the end of the day, this just looks bad on us as Black women. I'm not gonna lie. And no, we're not all the same. No, we're not a monolith. Yes, we're all individuals, but we can't act like we don't live in a society based on generalizations. And we are looking really crazy right now. We're looking really crazy right now. And I just want my sisters, don't co-sign the foolishness. Okay? Don't. She was wrong. That was messed up, beyond messed up. I'm not protesting. I don't want to hear nothing about the police and I don't want to hear none of that, because none of that excuses what she did. And we all have to get on this same page. Not just to make a point in this situation, but I really feel like those of us who have been enlightened really owe it to those of us who are still struggling to show some holding of accountability. We let our celebrities run rampant, doing whatever they want to do, and we still support them blindly. We have basically been twerking to the destruction of us as a people. And I know nobody wants to talk about it, but that's what they do. If you've ever studied Rome, and we've all studied Rome in school, there was a concept introduced called bread and circus. Angelina Israel, shalom and shalom, sis. Thank you for joining me. There's a concept called bread and circus. With this concept, they figure if the government feeds the people and the government entertains the people, then the people are going to be kind of coerced into a state of peacefulness. They will be so happy with their food and their entertainment that they won't have time to figure out what the government is doing and, how things are being mistreated and things like this. Okay. And we still live in that day and time. No, we don't see gladiators at the Coliseum, but we definitely tune into football, basketball, boxing, every other sport. This is all just the continuation of that same concept. When you talk about the bread portion, we're going to talk about welfare and government subsidies because a hungry people will revolt. This is just this present government exercising all of the things that they've learned from their history. See, that's the beautiful thing about knowing your history, right? You know what works and what doesn't work. So they've had eons and centuries to put these principles into practice, to test them on us. Let's just be real, to test them on us, and see, how is it going to work for them? How will this keep the people complacent? How will this keep people quiet so that we can continue to do what we're going to do? And I know you're going to say, but they're doing it right in our face. Yeah, because it's too late for us to stop it now. They don't care about reporting. They will report on human trafficking all day because what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Jeffrey Epstein was in jail, and what happened? They showed you the pictures, right? They showed you the pictures of him hobnobbing with politicians, actresses, celebrities. There have been lists. People have been named and exposed. Videotapes have been found. And what? And what? I don't know if you guys remember. I don't know if I can say it without getting a ding or whatever, but I don't know if you guys remember. There was an arcade in DC that they were saying was a funnel for the king of underage children. Was anybody ever arrested for that? Was there really an investigation in that? And what are you going to do about it? You aren't the peasants of 18th century France who are going to, revolt and storm the castle. Like, none of that's happening. And listen, I'm not talking down on anyone because I'm going to tell you, for me, I'm just at the point of I'm going to let the Lord handle it. So no, I'm not about to be out there protesting. I'm not going to lie to you. No, I'm not. I'm not. But my point is, we've come so far in history without any action being taken that now it's like, psh, okay, what are you going to do? All I know to do is make myself available for the Most High to use, to speak to reach who's ever for me to reach. That's all I know to do. And honestly, that's all any of us can do. But let's not walk around ignorant of the enemy and his devices. Okay, that's all I'm saying. All right. Look, at the end of the day, it's really crazy. It's crazy. So, like, share, subscribe if you're on the YouTube. Shout out to my audience on the Saya TV. Listen, stay on the TV, pick up the phone, join the chat, all that good stuff. Turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at the House of Mono. Okay, I had a clip. Hold on, let me make sure this is the clip I wanted to show you guys. Oh, yes. Okay. All right. Something else I wanted to talk about before we get into our main topic of the double standard. Going to show you all this. It may be a little sensitive topic, but it's a news clip. Fair use, please, y'all. Put the fair use in the chat. I do not need my video taken down. They already got me once. Fair use, fair use. This is being used for educational discussion and all that good stuff. Okay, so here's the clip, and then we'll talk about it.
Fox 26 is your station for health. Houston and Harris County are in the midst of a syphilis outbreak. Fox 26's Gabby Hart is here in the newsroom. Gabby, this infection is impacting women at an alarming rate.
It really is, Tom, a 128% increase in cases among women. And for those of you sitting at home thinking that there's no way it could impact someone like me, doctors say this isn't just a problem for sex workers or low-income communities, but that all sexually active adults, especially women of childbearing age, are at risk.
It's really something that we should all be getting screened for, because you can't look at anybody and tell. You don't know necessarily what every partner you've had in your life may have been exposed to.
The Houston Health Department is reporting a syphilis outbreak in Houston and Harris County. According to the Health Department, new infections increased from 1,845 in 2019 to just over 2,900 cases in 2022. That's a 57% increase.
What is happening in Houston?
What we're seeing is a failure in our healthcare system.
Dr. Foye Ikiator is the medical director at Lifesavers Emergency Room here in Houston.
How is that a failure in the healthcare system? People catching STDs. Okay, let's keep going.
She says what people think of as an uncommon STI is becoming more prevalent in our communities.
We've gotten to the point where we think it's eradicated. I talk to people all the time and they say, is that still going on? Like, well, it is. With this new spike, it is women particularly, and then women of childbearing age.
And when women of childbearing age are impacted at this rate, it also impacts children. The health department reports a spike in congenital syphilis. The number of babies being born with the infection went from just 16 cases in 2016 to 151 cases in 2021.
Which means that these pregnant women with syphilis are having babies that are born with neurological deficits.
Dr. Ikiator says every pregnant woman needs to get screened in the beginning and toward the middle of her pregnancy. Syphilis symptoms include a circular rash that can appear anywhere on the body, and if not caught in a timely manner, it can lead to fever, hair loss, headaches, and ultimately damage to internal organs.
It's easily treatable. It only takes one shot.
But what happens if this goes untreated? How dangerous is that?
How dangerous? Yeah, well, it can cause severe neurological problems for patients, adult and the baby.
Well, the health department is launching an outreach response that will increase.
Okay. I mean, a failure of the healthcare system. I can't. Yes, exactly. The Most High warnings is going to get worse, and that's exactly what is going on in our faces. Okay, but a failure of the healthcare system. Okay, first of all, that's a bunch of. I just can't believe she said that. How do you blame the healthcare system for people getting STIs? It's not a failure of the healthcare system. It's a failure of people to keep the law of the Most High. Clearly, that's what it is. And I don't know if anybody else has been like noticing this, but they keep talking about, oh, it's especially in women. Where are the women getting it from? And that brings me to another topic. Ma'am, sis cousin. It is no secret that lesbianism is running rampant in the Black community. And I'm not even gonna say especially among single Black women, because I know some married Black women who. So okay. Let me just say this. That is a sin, okay? God does not excuse lesbianism just because you feel like, oh, well, it's not penetration, so it doesn't count. No, you are expressly forbidden from lying with a woman as you would lie with a man. Okay. There's no, if someone could please in the chat offer a more plausible explanation for why it seems that women are overwhelmingly being infected with syphilis. And I know you may be saying, oh, well, women go to the doctor more. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. Because this was not it's not like, oh, within this few months. This was a difference in years. This was a difference in years. Again, I'm open to any other plausible explanation. Okay. I might even give it to you that, oh, the men aren't going to the doctor. But if you remember what she said, and come on, here I go making assumptions again. Okay. I would hope, I would think, not hope, I would think that most of us took sex ed in school. Okay. So, syphilis moves in stages. The first stage is a rash, and then the second stage, it gets worse. I don't remember, like you get the fever and stuff like that. And then after that, like she said, neurological damage. So it's a progressively deteriorating disease. So even a man at some point is going to be like, hold on, what's going on with me? So I'm not necessarily like buying that men just don't go to the doctor. I'm not going to say that. But yeah, y'all, man. And I know it's easier said than done. I know what you're saying. You got a man. You got somebody to lay up with. Yes, I do. Okay. So I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But please, y'all, it's not worth it. It is not worth it. The devil is not playing these days. And they're talking about a shortage of penicillin, which is used to treat syphilis. So you go to the doctor with this disease, but they don't have the medicine to cure you. Now you want us to pray and cry when this is one of those cases when the answer is not to do the thing in the first place. I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, not sorry, a little bit. All right, on to our main topic. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live here at Monologue Magad, Miss Mono's World, the whole entire house of Mono. King Connect, Shalom and Shalom. Listen, I thought about you the other day. I'm gonna tell you why. I was having a conversation with a sister on Facebook, right? And a brother just took it upon himself to rudely jump in the conversation, rudely. And of course, me being a woman of class and respect, I'm not gonna respond to you, you dummy. So I just, deleted my comment. But it made me appreciate brothers who come on here and y'all are respectful. Y'all join in the conversation. You don't mind edifying the sisters. And I just want to appreciate you and all the brothers that join us here on Why Boaz on Lunch Y'all Ass. Thank you so much for all that you bring to us. Brianna, Shalom and Shalom, sis. Thank you for joining me. Listen, if you weren't here earlier, it's 10 days till F3, 9 days if you're coming to the party before on that Saturday night. If you want tickets to either one of these amazing events, please head over to 3mgmusic.com, the number 3mgmusic.com. Get your tickets. Can't wait to see you guys. I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of you all who I only know on the internet, but y'all are my sisters and cousins, so I'm really looking forward to meeting you guys. Okay, now let's talk about the double standard here. And let's just go over what we perceive to be the double standard, right? A lot of times you hear about how it's okay for men to have sex whenever they want to, but it's not okay for women to do that. I know, me too. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. All praises to the Most High. Lord willing, we will all have a great time. You know how, there's always that complaint. It's usually women complaining, right? Oh, well, they can do it. Why can't we do it? They can do it. Why can't we do it? And then you have even the pay gap. There's complaint about how men are paid more than women. There's complaints about how women's products cost more than men's. There's always this comparison to how women are perceived and treated opposed to how men are perceived and treated. And you've heard all your life, oh, it's unfair, it's unfair, it's unfair. I'm here to propose to you that it is, in fact, not a double standard. The reason I'm saying that it's, in fact, not a double standard is because men and women are not the same. For there to be a double standard, there has to be two equal beings, entities, whatever, that are being treated differently, right? For anyone to compare men and women and say that there's a double standard because things are different, you're saying that men and women are the same. And now, I mean, I think we all can see here in 2023 where biological women are competing, first of all, just for the right to be women. I'm not a cis woman. I'm not none of that. I'm a woman. I was born with a uterus and ovaries and 2 X chromosomes. I'm a whole girl, Damon. Okay. I'm not you don't have to put anything in front of my name. You don't have to put anything in front of woman to describe me. So I have to fight just to be called a woman, okay? And then you have women who have to fight to be able to continue their professional sports careers because someone decided that men and women are the same. And so men should be able to compete with women as long as they've been injected with a certain amount of estrogen. In some cases, they don't even make them do that. All they have to do is be willing to say that they identify as a woman. That's it. Because men and women are the same. Not too long ago, there was matter of fact, I showed it to y'all last week, the clip of the mother who was saying she didn't want to be bothered with the child anymore. And of course, the women on the comments, that's not fair. Why is it up to her? Why is it up to her? Well, what do you mean, why is it up to her? Why the man can't do it? Why the man can't do it? She's a woman. She has the uterus. It's only natural, and I know nobody wants to hear this. It's only natural for the child to stay with the mother. So why is this a shock to us now? When God, if we go back to Genesis, right? When the Most High presented Eve to Adam, as the story goes, Adam named all the beasts of the field and all this, the things that he was doing, right? And then here comes Eve. When God presented Eve to Adam, he didn't tell Adam, hey, get her a job too, my boy. He did not Tell him that. Okay. Um, in fact, when the punishment came after Eve sinned, thank you, Lord. When the punishment came after Eve sinned, the Most High didn't give Eve the same punishment he gave Adam. No, he told Adam, you're going to have to work this ground. He told Eve, what? You're going to have pain and childbirth. He didn't tell Eve, hey, you're going to have to get over here with this man and do this. There was never a time when when Eve was equated to Adam. Even after Eve sinned, she was not given any. The Most High didn't say, "Oh, you failed at submitting to Adam, so now I'm going to make you an independent entity. You're no longer under the man. Me and you are going to have our own relationship." The Most High never did that. Can somebody find me book, chapter, verse? I never saw this. Never has a woman been taken from under a man. If you want to point to Abigail, well, her husband died first. So that's different. That's different. She's free and clear, right? He's gone. Okay. Let's read through the comments. I appreciate you being an older woman, teaching and giving lessons for the sisters. We need more women like you. Seems there's a vacancy of women that attempt to give wise advice to other sisters. It definitely is. All praise to the Most High. There definitely is a vacancy in that, and it's really sad. I mean, again, if I'm wrong, put it in the chat. Okay. Even to this day right now, there are obvious differences between men and women. We just choose to ignore them. And it hurts me that we've been so convinced that we're the same as men that we don't take advantages of the pleasures of being a woman, okay? And here's let's discuss this falsehood of this double standard, right? Because when I walk in a door, I expect a man to hold the door for me. Whether you know me personally or not, I'm a lady approaching the door. Why wouldn't you hold the door for me? But see, I can't have that expectation and then turn around and try to talk crazy to this man, square up with this man, and expect to still be treated like a lady. Well, why can't you do that? Women can do it all. Women can have hope, but no, you can't. And that's a lie. See, that's that lie of equality, right? I can be expected to be treated like a lady as long as I'm acting like a lady. And that includes in all areas of our lives. You can't not want to be called a whore just because you're not getting paid for being a whore. That's your own dumb fault. Now that would be a double standard. But it's also none of your business, ma'am, sis, cousin, why men get to do things that they get to do. That's not really any of our business. And I'm going to put my foot down and say that because I am so tired of, well, they get to do it, they get to do it, they get to do it. Guess what else they get to do? Let me tell y'all something real quick. My husband gets up most days before me. He's up before me. He's out the bed before me. He's walking out the house. When my husband is walking out the house, no lie, I'm still laying in the bed on my phone, chilling. When my husband is going to work, planning his day, I'm lollygagging, getting in the shower, playing with the kids, making smoothies, walking the dogs. Yes, our life is totally different. That's not a double standard. See, I was made I'm not supposed to be out here grinding and hustle. I'm not supposed to be doing that. I am made to be a genteel, nurturing, loving creature. That is our job. Oh, this part. Hello. Oh, I meant to thank you for reminding me about that. We clearly can't go to Dubai, disrespect a man, and expect to not go to jail as if we are the same. And the fact of the matter is, you shouldn't be able to do it anywhere. You shouldn't be able to do it anywhere. Okay. But for me to complain about my husband being my head, especially when I live the life that I live, would be very dumb of me. That would be very dumb of me. And it's the rebellion against the standards that make men look at us like, why, what do I owe you? Why do I want to marry you? You've been so busy trying to make yourself equal to a man that now he does not see your value. Because to him, you're just like him. What does he need you for? Oh, well, what about sex? Ma'am, he can get sex from anywhere. Are you crazy? It's 2023. All you got to do is slide into the right DM. You can have a coochie show up to your door. Please tell me I'm lying. You drop it in the chat. If I am, I don't think I am. Wait, why does he need to put up with you and your foolishness? You won't even play your role right. What is the point of him marrying you? For what? To have a lifetime full of burdens so you can divorce him and try to take his kids and make his life harder? I don't need another woman. If my husband was trying to compete with me and be equal with me, well, I don't need that. I don't want that. I need my opposite complement. That's what I need. Ladies, if he cannot handle your quiet femininity while you all are dating, run from him. You are never going to be able to yell louder than him. You're never going to be able to hit harder than him. I don't know, like, we've dealt with jealous women, okay? But if you've never dealt with an emotionally unstable man, you don't know how dangerous that is. Imagine how emotional you get and if you had the strength of a 250-pound man. I know I would be dangerous. Okay, I know there are times when I would be dangerous. I can admit that. This is why men are not supposed to be so freaking emotional. Okay, that's a lot of force behind that emotion. And that is why you may have been told that, oh, it's okay for women to hit men because men are stronger. No, you don't put your hands on anybody. Let's be clear about that. So here comes this double standard again. Is he wrong if he hit you back? Why? You made yourself equal when you took it upon yourself to square up. Now, we've all been told, don't let anybody get close enough to hit you, right? So why doesn't that apply to you? Because he's a man. You think yourself equal to a man when you feel like you can present your list of bags and bodies and he's supposed to accept you the way that you are, while giving you the princess treatment. By the way, this is what gets me. Y'all want to Y'all want to come up used and abused, but you only want the newest of men. Everybody had so much to say when Roger from Sister Sister was talking about he don't want to date a woman his age with kids because they got too much baggage. But the truth of the matter is a lot of 40-year-old women don't want to date 40-year-old men either. So, but why is he wrong for that? Why is the man wrong for not wanting to deal with your baggage? And why do you expect him to? Let's get to this comment. Roles are given by the creator for a reason. Our adversary Satan has been distorting the order of God, teaching dysfunctional concepts like equality. Thank you. Equality is a lie. It is the biggest lie. See, and again, here's the problem with us not learning the truth of the Bible, not learning the truth of our roles, not learning the truth of our relationship to the Most High, right? God is the head of Christ. Christ is the head of man. Man is the head of woman. Me seeking to come from out of the heading of my man would be like Christ trying to come from under the heading of God. It's the same thing. And y'all love to talk about, oh, serve your husband as unto the Lord. But how are you when you're trying to make yourself Lord? You're trying to take yourself from under your Lord, the Lord here, your Lord here on earth. You're trying to take yourself from under him and just make yourself Lord of what? That's not even a recognized position. You're out of order. You have become a disease. You're a bacteria, you're a virus, you're going to infect other women with your deceitful thinking. You never once hear Jesus deny the authority that the Most High has over him. He's always reflecting any glory onto him. None's good about my Father. No, I pray to my Father, my Father, my Father. Not once do you hear Jesus walking around claiming to be an independent entity who doesn't need anyone. And please understand, I am not trying to feminize our Lord and Savior, but I'm trying to get you to understand that the concept of authority and submission is the same. And they don't want to tell us that. No one wants to understand that, yes, in order for our nation to build and in order for us to work, we are going to have to submit to our men. There is no double standard because we are not the same. There's no way that things can be equal. A man penetrates, a woman receives. Not the same thing at all. We've been so fooled into thinking that for some reason the world, and mind you, these are the same people that kidnapped you, your ancestors, forced them to breed, forced us to be sex workers. That's a big part of slavery that no one likes to talk about. Okay? The sex trade of it all forced us to be sex. Like, all of these things were done to us. Not only were they done to us by white men, their wives were very much in cahoots with it. They very much sat by and let it happen. Please stop thinking that feminism is for you. It's not for you. Feminism is a whole disease. And it is a terminal disease to the Black community. We cannot afford to entertain feminism as our men are not even in a position to oppress us. Now, listen, I'm not talking about individual situations and stuff like that. I'm talking about on a macro level as a whole. There's no black man that ever stopped me from getting a bank account. So that whole, I know y'all gonna say this is old, right? Yes, they called us winches, and exactly. That's exactly what they are. The Labor Magazine, Shalom and Shalom. Y'all checking out the Labor Magazine. Turn up the lights on IG, TikTok. Y'all follow them, please. They will be at F3. So here's what I want. Here's what I need us to get through our skulls. We're not the same as men. No matter how hard we try, like no matter what society tells us, no matter the advancements in technology, we are never going to be the same as men, just like men are never going to be the same as us. And what we can't do is sit here and complain about trans men wanting to take women's spaces when hell, we don't even want to take women's spaces. How is the world supposed to tell a difference if we don't set ourselves apart? And this goes to your inside. I'm talking about the way you act and the way you carry yourself. All right. Because, yes, a man can go put on a wig and some hoops and some makeup and he can fool a bunch of people. But there should be something in us, especially if we're claiming to be women of God. There should be something in us that lets the world know that I'm different from that. And for the longest time, especially when I was younger, I thought it was an effect to put on. It's not an effect to put on, it's a spirit on the inside. It's meekness, it's humility. Okay? The Bible does talk about esteeming yourself as you should. So please understand that meekness and humility does not mean that I have to cover myself in sackcloth and never comb my hair. That's not what that means at all, ma'am, sis cousin. Yes, the Bible warns about adorning ourselves on the outside, but that does not mean, ma'am, sis cousin, that you don't take care of yourself. The Bible also talks about keeping your hair combed, anointing yourself with oils and perfumes. Okay. There's a balance to these things that we have to start understanding. Yes, it's called being set apart. Exactly. They used to call it being sanctified back in the day, except back then we didn't understand that it wasn't necessarily on the outside. And now let me say this, okay? Because I don't want anyone to be offended. I understand that there are some sisters that dress a certain way to protect them. And I get it. I totally get it. Please understand that even as a married woman, and I feel like all married women should be like this. Even as a married woman, I'm careful about how I dress so that I don't attract unnecessary attention. Now, listen, I'm beautiful, okay? As are you guys. So I know you listen, you're gonna see dudes look. They're gonna look when you get out the car, at the gas station, when you walk in the grocery, men are gonna look. They can't help it. You're a woman. They're supposed to look. But when they look at you, they should be able to see something different that would cause them to not look at you the way they look at other women. Okay. Now, let me say this. Some dogs are just dogs. All right. Some dogs are just dogs. They're just gonna be disrespectful. There's nothing you can do about that. All right. I have been nappy hair, sweatpants, and baggy t-shirts and still been looked at in a way that made me uncomfortable. Okay. So I'm not saying that, oh, it's never gonna happen and that there's something wrong with you if it does. No. But what I am saying is, I consider this a part of working out your own salvation. You and the Most High get together and figure out how you should be presenting yourself. Okay. Modesty can mean different things to different people as far as appearance, but I think that we can agree that it's the same spirit on the inside. Okay. Um, and so even with that meekness and humility, that gentleness that's supposed to come with naturally being a woman, right? So many of us are missing that. We've been taught to reject it, that we don't think twice about how we carry ourselves in the public. Um, Listen, I don't even want to say that I try. I just notice that a lot of women are very just abrasive even when there are other men around. If I'm at when I used to go to Quick Trip and get a coffee. Like, if I'm at Quick Trip getting a coffee and there's a man up there fumbling at the lids, Imma wait. I'm not gonna go up there and stand next to him and be fumbling. I'm not gonna do none of that. Imma wait or Imma look for another thing. Is that me being scary or no. Why am I gonna insert myself in this man's situation? And then if he look at me crazy or say something crazy to me, then Imma be like, why are you talking to me like that? Just like I feel, and I'm sure some of you women feel the same way. Just like if you're having a conversation with another woman, you would find it weird for a man to just come and insert himself if he's not her husband or your husband. Like, you ain't nobody's husband here. This is none of your business. What are you doing here? You would look at him as an intruder. Same thing when you take it upon yourself to enter men's spaces. What are you doing here? It's not for you. You've been so far removed from being so delicate that you wouldn't set the sole of your foot on the ground. You are so far removed from being allowed to be a lady. And I'm talking especially to a certain group because yes, if you look through Black history, you will find that there were certain of us who seem to have it better than the others, right? Um, you see tale of the Black bourgeoisie and the Black middle class and all this other stuff, and they will often point these people out. It's like, no, you could have made it too. But what they fail to realize is these people often have a white parents, grandparents, someone. They have a closer proximity to whiteness, and that is what allowed them access to those things. So again, I'm not saying that we're gonna ride the oppression train, but also don't let anyone take your truth and your history from you. Don't let them discredit you into making you thinking that, oh, you just suck. You're just, you Black women, you're just so horrible. Your mothers are horrible. Your grandmothers are horrible. Like, you guys are you're just a waste of, no, 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 no. There was a time when our men ruled the world and we walked around in palaces. If you've ever read of Susanna, she was walking to her husband's pool with her handmaidens or to the garden with her handmaidens. Okay. So please, we're not savages. We didn't come from the dirt. Okay. They ran us out of our civilization. So please don't let anyone or don't let this world make you think that, oh, well, you was just born messed up. No. There's a lot that you have to overcome. But also, please understand that the answer is not in the world either. The only way you're going to overcome the world is by coming back to the Most High. And when I say overcome, I mean for us as Black women, you know what? A part of that I feel like is reclaiming your femininity. I feel like a part of that victory is saying it's okay for me to not carry the expectations of a man. I shouldn't be expected to go out here and face the world and provide for my family. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have to do it. And even if you're married, I understand you have to do it, but that shouldn't be your goal. That shouldn't be your focus. That shouldn't be what you want to be doing. And hear me, okay? I'll try to always keep it 100 with you guys. So let me just say that I'm not gonna sit here and say that sometimes I don't get caught up in those feelings still. Sometimes I'll walk around here and I allow those thoughts, those false expectations, I allow them to bother me. I allow them to make me feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm not good enough. I should be doing more. Something should have my name on it. I should be out here building something for myself. What am I going to say that I did? And I have to take a step back and get my mind right. I really have to get my mind right and realize that the only people who don't see what my husband and I are building together as mine are people who just have a messed up way of thinking anyway. And it's not my responsibility to change their mind. What you have to realize, ma'am, sis, cousin, is if people don't like you, if they have convinced themselves that you are not good enough for them, if they are determined to misunderstand you, that there's nothing that you're going to do to change those people's mind. I don't care how many jobs you get, how many degrees you earn, how many awards you win, how much money you make. You can go out here and get the newest 2024 Maserati, whatever thing. They will find a way to hate on you from the bus stop. Let me assure you of that. So your goal is not to convince others of your femininity either. It's not to convince others that what you're doing is what you were intended to be doing. That's not your job. That is not your job. Titus tells us, listen, if they reject you once and then again, leave them because they're committed to their sin. I'm paraphrasing, but I'm not gonna listen. My message is for who is for. All right. If you hear me and this resonates with you, all praises to the Most High is supposed to. But guess what? If you hear me and it doesn't resonate with you, 'tis not my job to try to change your mind. Ma'am, sis, cousin, you can't convince that man that you've changed. That's not y'all's job. It is not your job to persuade a man to pursue you. That's not your job. And that's that's another area where we get it wrong. Which brings me to what brought me to this in the first place. Because the original conversation was going to be, should women ask men to marry them? But I was like, no, we need to go to the bigger picture of that, the double standard, and the fact that it does not exist. And so, therefore, a woman should never be expected to ask a man to marry him. And listen, if I don't want to offend anyone, okay? Ma'am, sis cousin, if it was me and this rusty, dusty, old behind nigga had the nerve, gall, and audacity to ask me when I was going to ask him to marry me, that would be the last question he ever asked me in his life. The last question. Listen. And I went through the Bible because I was like, I could be tripping. Maybe, Lord, maybe I'm tripping. But I don't see anywhere where there was ever a man. Where there was ever a woman that went to pursue a man. Isaac went and got Abraham sent his manservant to go to Rebecca. But okay, even after he went to her and was like, "Ooh, this the one right here." What did he do? He went to her father's house. These two men handled that situation. And then when the two men agreed on it, then they asked her, like, "Hey, you want to go with him?" And she went. Nowhere did it say, Rebecca asked Isaac. Rachel didn't ask Jacob, and neither did Leah. Sarah didn't ask Abraham. Hell, Eve didn't ask Adam. Come on. Like, I don't understand how we've gotten so far removed to the point that a woman is willing to pretend that you even have a home to bring this man into. The man is the home. The man is the house. He's the foundation. He establishes the thing, not the woman. I don't care what's going on in these crazy willy-nilly heathen families. Okay? But in Israelite families, we take our husband's last name because we are now under the protection of our husbands. I don't understand this. I'm not taking my husband's last name stuff. Now, I get hyphenation for business purposes, even for Facebook, because your maiden name, like, this is how people from school know you. I get that, okay? But when it comes to like legally and everything else, my last name is my husband's last name. Period. There should be no confusion on that. Hold on, let me read this comment, and then he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing to find. You gotta look. Yes, you do. See, we get so caught up in the demonization of history, that first of all, we don't take a look at the agenda. We don't go back to look at the agenda behind what we're being told, what we're being taught. We have to understand the entire agenda of this world that we live in is to undo the Most High and His law. It's to turn us totally against it. All right. And so everything is backwards now. Men think they're women, women think that they're men. But I wonder, when these women ask these men to marry them, are the men expecting to be like house husbands? Like, do the men expect to stay home and the woman go out and work? Like, how does that work? So when the woman asks the man, does she then get to make is she the head of the household now? She gets to make all the final decisions and everything. So when an intruder breaks in, it's the woman that gets up with the gun and go to the door. Because that's what I would assume. You look like a lumberjack. That's what you look like, a big old axe chucking lumberjack when you take it upon yourself to ask a man to marry you. I cannot see signing myself up to play the role of the husband for the rest of my life. Because at what point does it turn around? See, when you start a thing wrong, at what point does it turn around and become right? At what point after that does the man then say, "Okay, I'm back in charge now. I'm going to lead now." And hear what I'm saying. Yes, there should be a conversation. He should know that yes, you indeed do want to marry him before he makes the official proposal. Absolutely. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be a conversation beforehand, but Boaz went and cleared up the issue. Remember, he was the second kinsman. There was somebody before him that was supposed to marry Ruth. There was some land and some responsibility attached. So even after Ruth presented herself to Boaz, and I was I was told that this was Ruth asking Boaz to marry her when she laid at his feet like she was told to do. Anyway, and then so but if you remember, after Boaz got everything cleared up and it was agreed that he was going to take the land and the woman, he announced to everyone, "This is going to be my wife." Ruth didn't get up and announce to everyone, "Hey guys, I found my Boaz." No, he announced that this is my wife. I don't understand what inside of you makes you not want to be a lady. I really feel like it's because we have not seen femininity and womanhood being celebrated. We have not seen biblical femininity and womanhood being celebrated. Let me say that because they celebrate womanhood. Oh, they celebrate womanhood. They were twerking at Essence about womanhood, okay? Blame it on Esau. He's the one that came with confusion, targeting our women, our sisters to have this way of thinking that they the head of the house. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. It's totally this world system. Absolutely. Everything is set up to make you feel that way. And think about it. We talked about this before. This conglomeration, a better word is homogenization. And when I say that, you know how when you get milk from the store, well, if you ever seen raw milk, if you ever seen raw unpasteurized milk, the water is at the top and the cream goes to the bottom, right? Like if go, you can just Google it, you'll see. But if you go to like a conventional milk that's been pasteurized, homogenized, it's all one big thing of milk, right? So even let's take the milk, right? Because once you before you homogenize it, you got two separate things that you can use. I got water and I have cream. I can whipping cream, sour cream, butter. I can do so many things with this cream. But once I congeal it, homogenize it with this water, I can't make those things anymore. I can't get all of those good things anymore. Not only have this one thing. And so when a woman is not allowed to be a woman and a man is not allowed to be a man, now we as a society don't get to enjoy the gifts that come from manhood and masculinity. We don't enjoy the gifts that come from femininity and womanhood because everybody's so busy trying to be one thing. So now we have too much of one thing. And we have too much. I'm going to call it toxic masculinity. And I'm calling it toxic masculinity because This type of masculinity also feels like it has the right to be a woman. All right. I'm not talking about masculinity. I'm not talking about biblical, Bible based. I'll talk to my husband about this later. But I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that masculinity that make you look at a man like, oh, okay. Yes, sir. Whatever you say. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this toxic, abusive, not playing his role, not doing what he's supposed to do, not being the man that he's called to be, toxic, wanting to be a woman masculinity. Not wanting to get a job, feeling like his woman is supposed to provide for him. Toxic masculinity. That's instead of enjoying. And see, here's the thing. A lot of people are like, how can you enjoy masculinity when it seems like all men do is tell you what to do? No, see, and here's another jacked up thing about us not knowing the truth. It's like we only get the authoritarian side of authority. My husband is good to me. The Most High is good to me. There's reward for obedience. And this is what people seem to not get. No, please. Now, I've never understood when people would say if God doesn't do anything else, he's done enough. And the only reason I'm saying that is because like I want to keep living. So I need him to keep me living. You understand what I'm saying? But what I can say is he's shown me enough to know that he's not going to fail me. He's not going to let my obedience go unrewarded. This is what I know. The blessings of the Lord maketh rich and addeth no sorrow. Okay? But now what you have to then turn around and look at is the reward for disobedience. Okay? And they don't like to broadcast this a lot. You'll notice what they broadcast, the bling and the cars. That's what they always show you, right? They have this, they have that. You got to show you the BBL. They got to show you the 36 inches. What's the what did Kiki say? I got my cash. I don't need no nigga. So that's what they have to show you. That's their reward, their money. That's their reward for their sin. That's their reward for their whoredom, their money. But how many of them can boast on a happy, healthy family? How many of them show you a Bible-based man leading his household into prosperity without whoring his wife? Because as much as I like Cardi B and Offset, I'm sorry, that man is whoring his wife. Well, she was doing it before. Oh, but you're my wife now. You understand what I'm saying? You represent me now. I'm gonna need you not to do all that. And I know he might feel like, oh, it's different because he be in the videos with her, he be on stage with her, but you're still providing this imagery for other men to lust after your wife. And it's just so many, because it's just they try to dress it up and make it pretty. And every now and then you'll get one of them to break down. They've all done it. Beyonce, Cardi, Kiki did it. I remember Suki did it one time too. They all have a point where they break down and they cry and they want to get out. They don't want to be in the industry anymore. They don't want to do this. They're tired of showing their bodies. I remember Cardi B, she used to be a stripper and she talked about how making this music now is bringing back things that she wanted to be done with in her life. So, no, it's not time yet, baby. It's not time yet. Yes, ma'am. Okay. I'll have Daddy let you know when it's time, okay? Okay, I gotta finish. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Yes, you can have a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Sorry, y'all. That was the youngest one. Wonder if it was time for him to make his appearance. Vanity, arrogance, and idolatry. Exactly. So yeah, so they'll show you the bling, they'll show you the money, they'll show you these things, right? And the thing about them showing you the things is to project the image. Oh, if you have these things, then you can live like this too. So what do? You go out here and you go into debt trying to obtain these material things that you feel like if I acquire enough of these material things, then people will love me. And, I'll get likes and I'll get followers. And if I could just do this, for what profit a man to gain the world and lose his own soul? Huh? All praises. Yeah, I looked at the time too. I was like, wait a minute, it's not time yet. Definitely. I looked at the time too. Listen, if you like what we got going on here at the House of Mono, $1 or $2 do head over to the Cash App, $ the House of Mono. Thank you if you've already given. I don't care if it was $1, $2, $3, $5, $30. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. So the thing is, and I can safely tell you this because I've been a victim of these things. I thought if I had the purse, if I had the jeans, if I had this type of this and that type of that, then my life would be fulfilled and all the other things that I wanted would come to me. And no, that's a lie. That is a lie. The only thing that's going to fulfill you and bring the things that you want to your life is keeping the law of the Most High. And I know, right? I'm not supposed to say this. And here's the thing about the world. If you think about the world and their solutions, they never really require much from you. They don't require much from you. Think about it. The psychic just wants a couple of dollars. The tarot reader on TikTok just wants a couple of roses, a couple of likes, burn a candle here and there. I mean, even if you go to the Catholic Church, to the Christian church, forget the Catholics, because at the end of the day, really the only difference between a Catholic and a Christian is the Catholic goes and confesses to a person, but Christians believe that, oh, I can do whatever I want as long as I as long as I repent and confess, and then I'm fine. The grace is sufficient for my sins. As long as I go to the altar on Sunday, I'm fine. The truth of the Most High clearly lays out what you should not, what you can, what you cannot be doing. There's no room for confusion. See, in church, when they would call you out for sin, what was sin? What was the sin? I mean, besides the big ones, no sex before marriage, you don't lie, you don't steal. Besides the 10 commandments. Cuz we thought it ended there, right? So as long as I keep the 10 commandments, I'm cool, but hell, even that didn't work. Okay? So there's no boundaries outside of the truth of the Bible and the truth of the Most High, and really letting the Most High deal with you. You're not going to have any boundaries. Everything else is going to offer excuses. You did this because of this. You did that because of that. There's no attempt to get people delivered from homosexuality, not even in the Black church. Now they're accepting it. You got Juanita Bynum. Sorry, I heard a child. You have Juanita Bynum, who's charging $1,500 to teach people how to pray. declaring to be a part of the LGBT community. LGBT, the alphabet mafia, you know what I mean. You have pastors like Jamal Bryant going to churches with gay pastors and their husbands. We are not looking to be set apart anymore. We are looking to fit in and go along with what this world tells us is right and acceptable. It is crazy. That is very crazy. It's beyond me. Cause I remember a time when they would never. Oh, and I know I'm not supposed to say this, but Juanita Bynum is a horrible example of women in ministry. Horrible example. I believe very much that you can be a married woman in ministry, um, and have a successful marriage. I totally 100% believe that. A happily successful marriage. I totally 100% believe that. So but see, it's this misleading like this because I remember when she did the whole no more sheets thing and she gathered her following. Okay. I remember back then. I remember the incident with her, like I remember all of this, and to see her now, and she still has hundreds, probably thousands of Black women that are following her right into lesbianism. They're please listen. I'm not supposed to say this. I'm not going to no church with no female pastor. I'm not doing it. I'm not, no, Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm not going to sit under no masculine acting, taking charge, independent one. I'm not doing it. And you should not either. Listen. Yes, for real. I try not to pay Christians any attention, but why? I try not to either. Trust me, I don't want to because I grew up in Black church. It's hurtful to see the truth. Right now that you're on the outside and you can look in, it's very hurtful to see the truth of what has been going on and what is currently going on. Can you even call it the Black church anymore? It's a joke. It's been totally destroyed from the inside out. Matthew 7:13 and 14, enter ye the straight gate. Yes, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way that leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. All praise. Where's my face? So let's just get, to put it bluntly, to wrap it up in a bow. The double standard is a lie, just like equality is a lie. You women were made to be different from your male counterparts, as in an opposite. What's the law called? For every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, but it's like these days we are trying to get rid of the equal and opposite reaction. You just want to be able to act and do what you want to do without having anyone check you or anything like that, and I'm just telling you that that's just not a healthy way to live. That's not a healthy way to live. That's not the path to righteousness. And I don't know. if the realization that, the hell that we were brought up being taught doesn't exist has maybe done a number on people's heads to where they feel like, oh, well, I'm not going to suffer in hell. You don't care about suffering now? When I was living in sin, my life was horrible. Horrible. I was stressed out, overworked, anxious, depressed. Life in sin was horrible. And here's what I'm going to tell you that they didn't tell you in church. You don't have to wait until you die and go to heaven to have a good life here on earth, ma'am, sis, cousin. Listen, I know there's I had to think about this. Because my question was, is there really that much of a shortage of marriable men? And I say marriable, because every man is not marriable, just like every woman is not marriable. We have to be honest. Some of us just aren't ready. Our minds aren't ready. Our bodies are not ready. Ma'am, sis, cousin, we're not ready. So I had to think about it. Like, is there really that much of a shortage of marriable men? And I realized that it doesn't matter what I say here, sitting here where I am, right? Because to you, in your eyesight, in your vicinity, there may not be any marriable men that you can see. And I get that. I understand that. But that does not mean for you to just totally throw any thoughts of marriage or any thoughts of a future, any thoughts of a righteous life. That doesn't mean for you to just toss them to the side. I know you can't see the answer right now, but that does not mean that the answer is not coming. My husband didn't find me until we were 30, 9 years, 33, 32, 33. And the fact of the matter is, if I would not have been living in sin, I'd have probably been married a lot sooner. I know I would have. I know I would have. So I get it. Trust me, I get it. But I also know a God that answers prayers. Y'all, I literally prayed. It seemed like months. It was definitely at least 2 to 3 months. I would come home from work and just lay out and pray and get my Bible, and I really just had got to the point where I did not want to keep living the same life anymore. And I think, I know for a fact that that's the point that some of you have to get at. I know some of you you're tired, but you're not sick and tired. You're not tired enough to throw your hands up from every distraction, every weight, every sin, every boy and every girl that may be trying to or is keeping you from living the life that the Most High intended for you to live. You're just not at the point where you're willing to give it away. I left a whole apartment and all its furniture behind. I had prayed and laid it out, came to Georgia, not necessarily expecting to find a husband right away or for my husband to find me. I want to be very careful with the words that I'm saying, okay? Because let's be clear, I did not pursue him. He pursued me. All right? So I had no guarantee. I left a job, a good job. I had been there for a while. And I'm praying for you. You're only 19. I'm praying for you that you find a good one. Because I love to see young people settle down early and have y'all family. I love that. Left my apartment, left a job. Okay. Good job working for Delta Dental. I was a union rep. They wanted to make me management. They had went to my aunt and everything. Like, can you talk to her? We don't want her to leave. I mean, I had stuff that I could have stayed for. All right, but this is not the movie I want to continue being the main character in, okay? I want to audition for something else. So I left that. I didn't have a job when I came down here. All praises, I had parents. I stayed at their house. I didn't have a job. Came down here, and in like a week, I had a job. And then my husband found me, and we were married 6 months later. I didn't know that when I stepped out. I just knew this is where the Most High was leading me. And I knew I couldn't live where I was living anymore. Okay. So I need y'all and pray. Okay. Listen, even if you feel like you're not at that point, still, I went to the Most High no matter what. I know some of y'all ain't gonna want to hear this. I went to the Most High no matter what. Okay, I'll be smooth out the club. Lord, I don't want to do this anymore. Hung up the phone, just closed the door. Lord, I don't want to do this anymore. Please help me. I don't want to do this no more. Please help me. And if that's all you can say, then that's all you can say. And if you just got to sit there and cry, then just sit there and cry. But let the Most High work with you. Let him deal with you. You can't keep running. Listen, I love y'all. And I appreciate you tuning in every Thursday, 8 o'clock. Please come back next week. But you can sit here and listen to me all day and all night until you straighten yourself up and reckon through what you got to reckon through with the Most High. You're never going to be set free from the things that have you depressed, anxious, and stressed out right now today. This clown who pursue who is debatable, really? Don't listen to him. Yeah, I was choosing whatever. Anyway, I'm 19. I hope and desire to be a husband one day. The way the world is heading is not looking too good. Look, please, just like I told these sisters, don't get discouraged. Do not get discouraged. I can imagine the stuff that you have to deal with these days. But I want to encourage all of you, especially like as young as 19. Unika, don't laugh at him. Don't laugh at him. Listen, if you're 19, I want to encourage you to put yourself, but if you're young and single, this is for all y'all, put yourself in environments to meet the kind of people that you want to meet. Hang out at libraries, hang out at events. Like in the summertime, they have so many things, jazz in the park, music festivals, and they have different kind of music. You can come to F3. Listen, hold on. This is a very important announcement. Shalom, Unika. Listen, all y'all single folks coming to F3. Let me talk to my sisters. Ma'am, sis, cousin, just because you meet him at F3 does not mean that anybody is endorsing him. That does not mean that anybody is no. You treat him like a stranger. I don't care if you did meet him at F3. I don't care who introduced you. I don't care what anybody said about him. You take the time to get to know him for yourself. You treat him like a stranger. Okay? I don't care who did what. You treat him like a stranger. You make him start from step one. Hello? Prove a friend. Exactly. Make him prove himself to you. And now also on the lighter, but still very serious note, y'all, it's going to be hot out there. It's going to be hot out there. Now is the time to test your deo. Okay. Lumi is a great deodorant. I'm telling you, like I work out in it. I don't want y'all getting caught out there. All right. And it's hard. Listen, it's hard. And even at my age, all my hormone things, I have to shower 2 or 3 times a day sometimes. And that's okay. But I just want you to be aware. So bring your wipes, bring your deo, bring a change of clothes. It's gonna be hot. I want you to be prepared. All right. I don't want brother man walking up on you and then he gotta have some second thoughts. Be walking around asking questions like, "Does she always smell like that, or is it just because it's hot outside?" We don't want to have any of that going on. All right. So, ma'am, sis, cousin, please be prepared. Brothers, also, you're coming looking for women. Same advice. We are not endorsing anyone. I don't care who introduced you. I don't care if it's my daughter. Okay. I don't care if it's my daughter. Prove it. Make that thing prove itself. Okay. Same thing for y'all. Bring you some wipes. They got dude wipes. Grab you some wipes. Grab you some DO. Bring an extra t-shirt if you know you sweat a lot. You know what I'm saying? We are gonna be in the shade under the trees, but it's hot. Y'all not gonna be sitting still fanning yourself. You don't want to walk around. You're gonna get sweaty. Be ready to clean that up. And there's one thing I will say to y'all that's single. Like, be more conscious of always being presentable. And I don't mean walking around available. Oh no, I'm not trying to turn nobody away. Oh Lord, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to scare y'all. I just want y'all to, you know what I'm saying, have your stuff in order. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. Not trying to turn nobody away. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, have y'all stuff in order. But like I said, prove whoever it is. We not this ain't none of that. All right. Sorry, y'all. Okay, I had to get everything straight. Okay, yeah, no, prove whoever it is. Have your stuff together. Sir, please bring a couple dollars. There will be a bar. Okay, there's food. There'll be food trucks. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I just want us as women to like be cool with being feminine again. Like make femininity great again. You know what I mean? Like, be a lady and be proud. Listen, I don't get offended when people call me lady. Yeah, it's a blessing to be alive. How is still being alive an insult? How are my feelings supposed to be hurt because I'm still breathing? Like, I don't care about that. And we have to kind of not we have to not be afraid to remove ourselves from the youth culture so much. All right. Some of us are getting older. Listen, about 21, 25, might be time to change things up a little bit. But besides modesty, you understand what I'm saying? Let's be age appropriate as well. That is another thing that I think that we need to deal with, loving ourselves and accepting ourselves as we are. Okay, we're not men. We're never gonna lose weight as fast as them. We're always gonna have struggles and things that they don't have to deal with. That's cool. I'm gonna tell you right now, honestly, I'll take the struggles of being a woman as opposed to the responsibility of being a provider, and that's just me being real with y'all. I've had that responsibility before. I didn't like it. I did not like it. I do not want it. So I will gladly stay home and cook and clean and fulfill my marriage duties, and all that good stuff. Yes, my husband runs our household, and I'm happy to say that. It's a load off my mind. I don't know why people go around looking for more work to do. I don't. I got I got enough stuff to do. Like, I'm not walking around looking to assume anyone else's responsibilities. But that's what you do when you're out here trying to be a man. You're assuming the role of a man. You are saying that you can do it all by yourself. And babe, no man is an island in and of himself. No one can survive alone. You were never meant to. Independence is a lie. You're not independent. You depend on your boss to cut your check if you work a job. Even we're not independent as business owners. We depend on our customers. Oh, yes, ultimately we depend on the Most High. We know it's him who provides. Okay? But even with that, I have to provide good customer service. You know what I'm saying? I need these people's dollars. So independence is a lie. No one out here is really independent. You got a mortgage, you got a car note, like no one out here is independent unless your last name is Rothschild, Rockefeller, and you just are that financially free. No one is independent. We all need someone, even more so now. Look at the times that we're living in. Like, I want for my sisters to be protected and to be loved and to be cared for. But more than that, I want my sisters to be living righteously. Ultimately, above and beyond everything else, be you single, be you married, be you courting, I want you to be living righteously so that you can ensure the full protection of the Most High. Am I saying that, every day is going to be sunshine and roses? Am I saying that in your world everyone is going to be like pooping rainbows and throwing up butterflies? No, I'm not. No, in fact, things are probably going to get a little sticky. But that's the price. I'm telling you, I never understood when the Bible talked about when the Most High said, when Yahushua said, I didn't come to bring unity, I came to cause separation. I didn't get that until I came into the truth. I'm telling you, like, once you really embrace the truth of the Bible, you will start to see it come to life. Even those things that you may not want to deal with. The separation from your family. The loss of friends, the changing of your mind. I know you may want to try to avoid some of these things, but I'm here to tell you that if you're listening to this live or on the recording, it's time for you to stop playing with the Most High. Like, look at the world that we're living in now. You got people faking abductions, faking a whole abduction. So what's going to happen the next time somebody really goes missing? Yeah, it's pooping rainbows and spitting up butterflies. That's what we do. I mean, look, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but everywhere you go is short staffed, but yet they're always hiring. We was at Sonic the other day and we pulled up to the little thing where they bring the food out usually, and they were like, no, we don't have enough employees. You have to come to the drive-thru. Every time I go somewhere, it's understaffed, not enough workers. But they always have a now hiring sign up, and it's always people talking about they need jobs. Weird it is. Very weird. The walk of growth is painful but worth it. Very painful and very much worth it. It's fine. We're texting. Come on. Well, you can come. Come on. We don't have much time left. It's okay. You can.
It's time.
Oh, he didn't see you. Say shalom and shalom to everyone.
Shalom and shalom.
Carly need her wig. Did they ever get a girl her wig back? That's the question. They found it on the highway. Did she ever get her wig back? I don't know. I want to hear about that. That's my question. What are you doing, Spider-Man? I need you to sit up, Spider-Man.
Stop, Spider-Man.
Huh? Oh, you got the smoke thing? It's not even working.
Yes, it is.
All right, y'all. Remember, don't forget. Say shalom to Auntie Angelina.
Hi, Auntie Angelina. Shalom, Auntie Angelina.
Your mind says she don't need it. She don't need her wig no more. She don't. She's sitting in the house. Oh, Really? She's sitting in the house claiming she need her privacy protected, so she don't need that wig no more. Atticus. Listen, don't forget to head over to hold on, let me pull it up for you. www.3mgmusic.com for your tickets to F3 and the listening party on Saturday night, and then F3 on Sunday. www.3mgmusic.com. It is not too late if you want to be a vendor. It's not too late if you want to sponsor a family, or even if you just like to donate. Wow, I'm so sorry, you guys. Please excuse these pigs. I'm sorry, not pigs, but excuse them for burping. 3mgmusic.com to get your tickets to F3. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Come join me all around the internet at Miss Mono's World. At Miss Mono's World. Yes. Okay, guys. Paxton is cutting his hair off finally. No, not. I don't know how I feel about it. I'll let y'all know. But anyway, okay, listen, I will see y'all next Thursday. Same black time, same black channel. I love you so much. Shalom, good night.
4 times, 'cause the man can't control. One time for the men doing